All right, let's get part two going here. Now, instead of aluminum or metal or anything like that, I'm just going to put a couple of 2x4 chunks down there to level it out. Going to attach them like this, and then attach it to the bottom with some epoxy. I'll round these off to make them look a little bit better, but remember, we're not too concerned about what it looks like. That'll make it sit level. It's a little high on the front end now, but I still haven't aired these tires up, and that'll pick it up just a touch and set it down in soft sand. It'll sink. So very simple. I'm going to cut these to shape, screw that in, then we'll mount it. Now we're going to mix up a little epoxy to help these screws hold it on there. Take what I got left over and smear it in a couple of these cracks here, just keep from wasting it. Because I believe in using something till it's used up. Right there. There. Now, here's our little contraption. Move you right over here. Center it up about there. There we go. Once that epoxy dries, that's not going to go anywhere. And would you look at that? I got epoxy on one of my famous green shirts. Let's tell the green shirt story right quick. Because a lot of people think I wear the same shirt every day. About 4 years ago, about this time of year, it was starting to get cold. Walmart put all this brand shirts on sale. And they had pink, purple, all the kind of colors that I don't wear. And they had these green ones, had a big stack of them, $2 a piece. So I got 5 or 6 of them. And 2X, because that's what I wear, is 2X. A lot of times that's hard to find sometimes, because so many people wear it, I guess. Went up to Illinois a couple years back, visited with cousin Jay and Miss April, and I forgot to bring enough shirts. So they went to Walmart one day, and just so happened they had some more of them. So Mama picked me up a couple more, and they wear very, very well. They're comfortable. They hold up good. And I've still got all of them. So that's why I wear green shirts a lot. Plus I like green. Did I explain that? Cool. Alright, brought it outside here. And I just rubbed it down with some sandpaper and cleaned it off good. And put a solid coat of black on there before I camouflage anything. Do any kind of camo. Might as well, I got it. So start off with a black base coat, and this is the green. And a lot of people just squiggle lines, but if you'll pick you out some kind of little pattern, something like that, okay, leave that, come over here, Maybe just a little bit like that. There's the other, the khaki. And this stuff has went way down in price from what it used to be, surprisingly. But not very expensive at all. For my $3.96 a can is what I paid for this. This one, I already had the other ones. Take your khaki and don't overpower it. Just a little bit here and there. Maybe a touch right. There we go. You can always go back in and add some more black if you want, which I will right here. And this is just flat black, because I already had it. It's just as good or the same as the camo brand. There we go. Just like that. Now do that all the way around it. Give it a couple hours to dry. Then we'll be ready to take it inside and start putting our doodads on there. Sorry about that background noise, y'all. There's the noisiest bunch of folks live down there that you ever seen, but oh well. All right, we got our paint job all fixed up. Looks mighty spiffy, I think. Now we're gonna start doing the fun stuff now. We're gonna add the two rod carriers. I already measured them with the longest rod I have, the one I'll use this kind of thing for mostly. Okay, so I want to put a hole here and a hole here. Now I'm gonna drill a big oversized hole so I can get my screwdriver bit in there and secure it with some screws. Now I'm also going to cut a notch somewhere, probably right in here, for the reel to get down there and catch. And maybe I'll do it on this side so it doesn't spin around while you're rolling around with it. When I get all that done, I'll sand these off a little bit. Got another one just like it. Now this is all scrap stuff. I'll make another one just like it for the other side. I don't want to block this. I got a different plan for this. All right, all this is gonna drill some holes and I'll be back. There's my little notch for my reel to set down in to keep it from spinning. I nipped out the biggest part of it with a pair of wire cutters. There we go. Better than store-bought. Now I'm gonna get some rough sandpaper and just rough them up real good where the paint will stick to them, and we'll spray them down. Probably do them green. I found a half a can of green that I didn't know I had. That's what we'll do. Alright, let's put our little tackle tray in there. This is an antique Tupperware, made in the USA. Now, this has been hanging on the shop wall for years. I used to put saw blades in there, circular saw blades, but it's been sitting up there for a long time with nothing in it. Let's move you around a little bit. So this is going to become our little compartment for the tackle box. Now, I mixed up a little epoxy just to help it stay on there. There's a big flat right there that'll rest up against the side of the cooler. And that just a little extra insurance that it'll stay. Got just a little bit on top of the where the screws go in. Won't hurt nothing. And that's about all of it. We get just a little bit of that. Now this is 5-minute epoxy, so I'm having to work pretty quick with it. I'll get that out of our way. Where'd my rag go? Now, I cannot do anything, paint, mix epoxy, without getting it all over me. That's not such a bad thing. Now, I've already sort of measured it out. And these cracks down here, this will pretty much cover those. Put it right there. And get us a screw right there. Just sort of eyeball it straight. And these are all just random screws that I have laying around. See, that looks good right there. Now, we don't want to strip those out, so take the screwdriver and make sure they're snug. The epoxy will hold the rest of it. Now at the end we'll go back with some paint and dot around where I scratched it and gooped it up. Now, one thing we're all guilty of, me included, is a lot of us take too much tackle. Now this little cooler here, I'm going to have 2 rods. It can go on the pier just fine, or on a bridge you can walk on, which we don't have many of those left, and I don't go to those places much anyway. But on the beach, what do I target on the beach? Pompano, now whiting, ground mullet, whiting, same thing. Maybe redfish, maybe flounder, and that uses basically the same tackle, the same bait, cut bait, cut shrimp, fish bites, something like that. So all I need to carry with me is some leads and some hooks. This little box right here will hold everything I need. Maybe a couple of little spoons or something in this one. And that's going to fit right there, and that one will fit right there. Now I could take me a rag, hand rag or something, and stuff down in there. That's all the tackle that I need. True? I think so. That's how that's going to work. Alright, now we'll put our rod holders on the side. I actually drilled the holes in the wrong side, so I had to re-drill some holes. But that's okay. Now mix up a little more epoxy and I'll stick those on there. I'll turn the camera back on, but I probably won't say nothing. And then we'll move on to the top, and then we'll be finished. Alright, let's get our epoxy mixed up so we can mount our rod holders. We'll do both sides the same. I'll show you this side. I think I've got enough mix for both sides. But once again, I got to work pretty quickly. Yep, that's the way I want it, right there. Let's see, let's move over here and show you what I'm doing. Want some on this back side here to where it's going to make contact. The screws will probably hold it. But it doesn't hurt to be safe. I got one sticking in there already. So let's see, we'll put it up here. It's about where I measured it, right there. There. Now these happen to be stainless screws because I had them. Same thing, we don't want to strip them out. Oh, my arm's right in the way, isn't it? Alright, that'll hold it. Go to the other side and do the same thing. Now let's move our attention to the top here. I'm going to put the cutting board. It still has a couple of cracks in it. I'm just going to leave that like it is, because there's still some moisture in there, a little bit of water seeping out because it was sitting out in the weather for a while. Now as far as the cutting board, I have something exciting. Now this was gave to me as a gift probably almost 2 years back, actually for my boat, but I cannot figure out how to get it in the boat without it being in the way, so this is a perfect use for it. Now get ready, this is cool. Are you ready? This is a monster rod holder, a monster cutting board. Now it's been in the box out in the gear room. It's a little bit dirty, I'll clean it up. But I'm going to mount it right on here like this. And that will handle any bait cutting needs that I have. It's got the side holes in it. Wash it off, clean it off when you get done for the day. So there we go. Now I'm gonna put it out here to the edge so it'll still pick up and open. And we're gonna do that next. Now I've got it about centered where I want it. Now I'm not going to put any epoxy or anything on it here. I'm just going to secure it with some drywall screws, 3/8 screws, because there'll probably be a time when this thing is wore out and I want to take this off and put it on the next thing. Let's see, so we'll just put one here. Make sure we're good and straight. Go back here. And those screws are too long. Doggone it. Well, I'll show you what we're going to do with that. Take them out and put some shorter ones in there. Hang on. Alrighty, I don't have any. I need a 2.5 inch screw. I don't have any. So I just back the screws out a little bit. And for right now, that will hold it fine. Till my next hardware run, I'll get some more. And when I do, I will take some super glue and fill these holes and seal that up. I hate that, but oh well. We don't know until we do things, right? Now let's move you over here. We're going to put the lid back on. We'll move you down. Hang on, hang on. It'll be all right. Hang on. There we go. Snapped right back in place. I still need to wipe the inside out, but we'll do all that before we take it on its first run. Place to cut bait, place to hold tackle, 2 rod holders, one more step, and we'll see that here in just a minute. Then I'll put the rods in there, set it all up, take it outside, and we'll look at it if it don't rain. Alright, the last step before we're finished. Now these are my sand spikes, rod holders for the beach. Now, not necessarily carry them every single time. If I was to go to a pier somewhere, let's have a length of pipe, I cut at a 45-degree angle. Now what I'm going to do here, when I go down to the beach, I don't have to carry them. So I've got these caps, which fit too tight. I'm going to mount them like this, with a strap across here, to where when I get to where I'm going, I can just pick them up and take them out. Now to do that, I'm going to put them over here on the belt grinder and grind a flat, somewhat of a flat. Then I'm going to cut a little notch out here like I did on the rod holders, so I can get my screwdriver in there. And then on this end here would be the best. This is thick wall pipe. This is all I had. I'm going to put it on a belt grinder and grind it down a little bit so it'll slide in and out of there pretty easy. Well, I think I'll do it this way. That way if I hit some bumps or something when I'm pulling along, they won't vibrate out of there. So there we go. We'll do that. Now I'm not going to paint these. I'm not going to paint these. And then in the next video, there's a tool, one more tool that I need for this setup right here, and we'll do that later. Okay, we'll be back in just a minute and I'll show you how these all mount up. Well, there it is, the beach slash pier portable cooler. Now I'm gonna walk around here and show you all the where I mounted the sand spikes, rod holders. Just like that. Now, the 2 small tackle boxes, that's all the tackle I need. 2 rods at a time, in my opinion, is plenty. If anybody goes with me, they can just carry their own rod. So. Now, let's see if we can keep from getting it drug up in the trees there. Let's we'll take it for a little spin. Take a final look at it. Now I think that will work just fine. Another project down. One more tool that has to go with that, which I'll do a separate video here in the next few days, and we'll look at that. But that is my beach setup. My big rod and my cadence rod should be all I need. Still got paint all over my hands. Now, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support. If you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. There's going to be a lot more stuff like this coming. And I'm going to attempt to make a playlist in the next couple of days on and separate some of this stuff. Separate the fishing, separate some of the fishing DIY builds that I've done, and all that kind of thing. So y'all stay tuned. I'm trying to learn this technology thing, so thank you for watching, and I will see y'all on the next one.